Today we will do the carving of the maxillary first molar. As we all know, the maxillary first molar will show 3 roots, 2 buccal root and 1 lingual, and it will show 4 cusps, 2 buccal cusp, 2 lingual cusp and 1 more lingual cusp called as the cusp of Carabelli. Okay, so we'll have to show the cusp of Carabelli. To a certain extent we will show it on the lingual side. So for the carving, the points that are important for you, we will only do the crown part. Okay, we will not do the root. The crown part, if we do it, I will just show you how to make the crown. Okay, so first we will start looking into the dimensions of the tooth. The dimensions of the first molar. So the cervico-occlusal length of the crown. So this is the length of the crown. From the cervical line to the cusp tip, it is 7.5. The buccal roots are 12 mm. Lingual root is 13 mm, the longest of all. So we are interested right now in the crown length, that is 7.5. We can take approximately 8. Okay, and the mesiodistal width of 10. At the crown, at the cervical region, it's 8. Buccolingual diameter is 11 and 10. Okay, so we take into consideration the cervico-incisal length of the crown. So if we do the crown part of it, small head carver. So we roughly take 8 millimeters of the crown length. Okay. Just take 8 mm the crown length. We have to make 4 cusps, right? 2 buccal cusps we have to make and 2 lingual cusps. Okay, so with that, very small cusps will come on both the sides. We'll just mark one line here, a center line. So almost we are going to make 2 buccal cusps. So this will be the buccal side of it. The opposite will be the lingual or the palatal, and the mesial and the distal of it. Okay, if we mark it like this. So we'll start from the buccal side. So buccally we want to make 2 cusps. So how do we make it? First, there's a buccal developmental groove between the 2 buccal cusps. Okay, so that will come and join on the occlusal later. So we'll try and make 2 cusps. So very small cusps will come. The bucco, mesiobuccal cusp and the distobuccal cusp. Small head. Somebody gave me the cover. Anybody has this. So 2 small cusps to be made. One is the mesiobuccal cusp, the other is the mesiolingual cusp. Just you have to do the, okay, and cut the slopes. In that half only you have to make the slope of it. This is one cusp that we have made, and you cut the slope of the cusp. If you see the crown of it, see the buccal cusps, okay, quite sharp they have, the mesiobuccal cusp and the distobuccal cusp. If you see, it has got sharper tips rather. So cuspal ridges are also quite wide, obtuse angle rather. So we do not have to show this much of sharpness rather. So, but as compared to the mandibular molars, these are sharp. Okay, when compared to mandibular molars, the cuspal tips are sharp for this too. You can see the textbook if you have checked with that. Okay, so this is one we have made here. This one. Okay, this is one cusp I have made, right? So one more cusp we will try and make on the other side, other part of it rather. So two very small cusps are made. Use a small head carver, it becomes easier for you. Okay, larger carvers are of not much use for molars. So one more cusp we are trying to make, that is the distobuccal cusp. The mesiobuccal cusp and the distobuccal cusp. So cuspal tips are visible only after making the entire of it. Okay, awesome. Cusp, if you could see. Okay, so buccal cusps are visible this way. Two sharp cusps to be made from the buccal side. Now we'll go on the lingual. We'll take the mesial side. Mesiolingual cusp is larger, right? So we'll make a larger part, mesiolingual cusp. Mesiolingual cusp is the largest of all the cusps. So we'll take major part on the lingual for mesiolingual cusp and a smaller one for the, okay? Now mesiolingual cusp is the largest of all cusps if you see it on this. So mesiolingual cusp and distolingual cusp. If you could see, again, slopes of the mesiolingual cusp are wider because this is largest cusp and takes the major part of the lingual area. And if you see distolingual cusp, the smallest of the cusp, next year otherwise. So one more, this thing will also come, cusp of Carabelli. If you could see here, if you could see this figure, you have to make one cuspal ridge over the mesiolingual cusp. Okay, so we'll start doing it. We'll make the fifth cusp last. So similar way, we'll make one cusp little larger, that is mesiolingual cusp. Cut the slopes for this. So this will be a little larger. We'll look at it. Okay, that's the mesiolingual cusp, largest cusp that we have made so far. Right? And a groove runs in between the two, that is called the lingual developmental groove between the two lingual cusps, and it will join the central groove later on. I'll show you how to make the central later on. So we'll make one more cusp on the lingual side, the distolingual cusp, smaller one. So far we have made two lingual cusp also. Okay. Between the two lingual cusp there is the there is a lingual developmental groove between the two lingual cusps. It will go on the center. Between the two buccal cusps is also one groove that is called as, yes, buccal developmental groove. Between the two buccal cusps is the buccal developmental groove. So that would be the line of demarcation between the two cusps. Both on the buccal side, buccal developmental groove, and lingual side, the lingual developmental groove will be the line of demarcation between the two cusps. Cervically we give a shape to the crown. Both buccally and lingually. Mesially and distally also you can little give a shape to the crown part of it, showing the cervical line. I told you cervical line for the posteriors will be a straight line even on the profiles. Mesially and distally cervical line would be almost straight. Only on the buccal side, if you could see the buccal also, see here, it is almost a straight line. You do not see an arc-like line for the cervical line. Okay, so nowhere it is an arc. It's completely a straight line from all the sides. So cervical line is just a line of demarcation between the crown and the root, and it will just be a line from all the sides, from buccal side, from lingual, from mesial and distal. Okay, so not much to be made for the cervical line. So after making this one, we'll just do the occlusal part. Occlusally, all that is important for you would be, you have to show the central developmental groove from the occlusal. You have to show the central groove on the occlusal, okay, from the buccal developmental groove, from the lingual developmental groove, okay. So the crown would be trapezoidal from the occlusal aspect. So the crown is trapezoidal. So how do we make it? It's quite simple. We have to show the oblique ridge. If we show it here, we can show this figure. See, the largest cusp is the mesiolingual cusp. Okay, so it connects the mesiolingual cusp and the distobuccal cusp. This is the cuspal ridge that is shown for the oblique ridge. Okay, so we have to keep this ridge into consideration. We have to make these grooves. Understand? Yes. So it runs diagonally. What's the oblique ridge? It runs diagonally on the occlusal surface from the mesiobuccal cusp to the mesiolingual cusp to the distobuccal cusp in a diagonal fashion. Okay, so obliquely it runs, so hence the name given to it, oblique ridge. Okay, now this ridge becomes narrower in the center of the occlusal surface. So you have to make this narrow here and higher on the cuspal ridges. Okay, it is made up of the cuspal ridge of the mesiobuccal cusp, partly the distobuccal cusp, and partly the mesiobuccal cusp. Okay, two buccal cusps also take part, and one lingual cusp take part for the oblique ridge. So it is made up according to the definition. Can you read one of you? What is oblique ridge? It is made up of, see, the occlusal surface, oblique ridge and its dimensions. It's given. occlusal aspect. See, it is made up of the cuspal ridges of the, yes, read out.
Oblique ridge is a ridge that crosses the occlusal surface obliquely. The union of a triangular ridge of the distal-buccal cusp and the distal ridge of the mesio-lingual cusp forms it. This ridge is reduced in height in the center of the occlusal surface, being about on a level with the marginal ridges of the occlusal surface.
Yes, that's it. Okay, so this is the description of the oblique ridge. This is a 2 marks question for you. So underline this and you have to write that part. Okay, and draw this figure in case you are asked. So how do we do it? So oblique ridge, we have to connect the mesiolingual cusp and the disto-buccal cusp. So we just have to remove this part. Whatever higher portions are there, you just have to remove them. So you have to show these grooves in this manner. Okay, so lingual developmental groove and central developmental groove, buccal developmental groove and central developmental groove. So in this way you will preserve this oblique ridge. So what am I doing now is from lingual developmental groove it should go on to the distal. Buccal developmental groove it should go on to the mesial. Understand now? So that's all has to be made. So from the lingual developmental groove it has to go on distal part. Okay. From buccal developmental groove it should go on to the lingual part. You should see these ridges on mesial side. Okay, mesial marginal ridge, on distal side is the distal marginal ridge. So this has to be made so that two cusps are visible from this end. Yes. We are showing the oblique ridge here. It is narrower in the center of the occlusal surface. Check for the cuspal ridges, triangular ridges of the cusp. How are they running on the occlusal surface? They run from the tip of the cusp to the center of the occlusal surface. The cuspal triangular ridges also to be considered. This carving is little minute. All the features are little minute to be shown. If we take the exact measurements of it, okay, they would rather seen as very small portions, right? We show two small triangular fossa on the mesial side and distal side, mesial triangular fossa and the distal triangular fossa near to the mesial marginal ridge and distal marginal ridge respectively. So the central groove will run in the occlusal part, okay, and it gives supplementary branches in the minor fossae, okay. All that is important for us is to know the buccal developmental groove and lingual developmental groove. So we'll just describe. Buccal developmental groove runs from the buccal side between the two buccal cusps. It goes on to the occlusal surface to join the central groove. The lingual developmental groove between the two lingual cusps on the lingual side, okay, it enters the occlusal surface to join the central groove, okay. So that is all is important for you. It runs on the distal side. Lingual groove will run on to the distal part, major. So central groove will be running in the center of the occlusal surface, and that's why the oblique ridge becomes narrower in the center of the occlusal surface. But major portion of the occlusal part is the oblique ridge. Okay? The buccal, okay, two buccal cusps. The two buccal cusps, one on mesial and one on distal, mesial and distal, and two on the lingual cusp, the largest cusp, mesiolingual cusp, and the distrolingual cusp shorter. So what we have shown here is the marginal ridges, the mesial marginal ridge, the distal marginal ridge. Okay, we have shown two fossae, mesial triangular fossa and distal triangular fossa. We have shown the oblique ridge that's running from the largest cusp, mesiolingual cusp, to the distobuccal cusp. Okay, so this is running this way, and we have shown the groove, central groove, passing on the center of the occlusal surface and towards the mesial side and distal side, giving supplementary grooves. So I told you the fifth cusp, we can make a fifth cusp, that is on the mesiolingual cusp. A fifth cusp can be made, okay, just 2 millimeters above the lingual cusp, cuspal tip, okay, 2 to 3 millimeters. You can show one small cusp like development, that is the cusp of carrot. That's it. Okay, a very short rudimentary cusp can be made. A V-shaped cusp can be made to show it the fifth cusp of the cusp of carotid. Okay, so that's the end of it. So normally there are 4 cusps. Fifth cusp can be present in certain individuals, that is cusp of carotid. Okay, so this is the overall view of the crown of the maxillary first molar from all the sides. Thank you.